Hello everyone, I'm Aishwarya from FitBudd's marketing team and thank you for joining us today. So before we begin, please allow me to give a brief introduction of FitBudd for those who might be new here. FitBudd helps you grow your fitness business with the power of your own branded app. We also give you a dedicated and customizable website on your own domain. And beyond usual day-to-day operations, our platform is the only tool you need to seamlessly run your fitness business and build a robust digital brand. And we also offer a 30-day free trial, so you can schedule your free demo with our expert using the link shared in the chat. Moving on, I am excited to introduce Twyla, our expert presenter for today. She's the owner of Level Up Fitness and Wellness Center in Waltham, a top personal trainer and medical massage therapist who's also cracked the code on using automation to keep her business running smoothly. And Twyla is here to show us how automation can be a total game changer for fitness pros like you. So without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Twyla and dive into some fresh, actionable tips. Over to you, Twyla.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm Twyla. I'm gonna start by getting my screen set up, and then I'm really excited to start sharing with you guys what we have learned since meeting FitBudd. Thank you for that introduction. I have been working in the personal training and massage therapy industry for over 13 years now, starting to feel a little old. And in that time, I have learned so much. I came from, the older days of personal training and fitness where everything was in-house and our gyms used to be 20,000 square feet. And there were all these different areas to work out into these small boutique studios that have evolved, and now into the virtual world. We specialize in pain-free performance, in getting athletes back on, their respective fields. We specialize in massage therapy and hormones and dealing with how food and fitness can affect our hormones positively as well as negatively, and so how we can blend those worlds together. I am a twin mom, and that has rocked my world, especially in the times of COVID, because they're 4, which means that they got here October of 2020, in a time where we weren't sure if we were going to open our studios again, when we, had so many hoops to jump through to get back into the fitness world. And so, having a really challenging recovery period after the twins were born, that's when I met FitBudd. And after surfing through all these different softwares and trying to figure out how I was going to continue my life with being a mother, FitBudd really came in and helped me see that I can be a virtual personal trainer. I can still be an in-studio personal trainer, but most importantly, I can be a mother throughout all of those times. And so I think it's really important to show how I've used FitBudd to level up my own business. And even in some of these photos, you see my progress photos through all of the challenges that I ran into as a personal trainer, and using FitBudd as my platform to display that for my clients, which attracted a whole new population of people that I didn't have before I became a mother. And even some of these, like that middle slide where my twin ladies are on the floor with me, these are clips from the workouts that I've created for my mom's postpartum that are inside the app that I've been able to use during that pandemic time. And then we're still using them now, even though we've gone back live and in person. So, but none of this in my world has been wasn't even possible if I was not able to use automations, because during this time, I was a one-lady show. I didn't have any support. I was making great money, but when you're rendered helpless and you can't move for 3 months of your life, with new people in your world who you're responsible for keeping healthy. I needed a new way to think about my business. And I surfed through everything, every software, 8 pages deep into Google. I am searching for any options I could find that was affordable, that allowed me to be a personal trainer, that allowed me to automate the things that I'm not great at anyway, so that I can spend all my time being the person that I'm great at being, which is a personal trainer and a healer. So these are sort of the things that I've done, that I've put together into this and connected to software, to the FitBudd software, so that we can flow continuously. One is the social media scheduling, because one thing that has been vital to business post-pandemic has been connecting to your clients through your software. There are far fewer people walking past your doors. Some of us don't have doors because we're 100% virtual, right? And so if that is you, or you're somebody that's hybrid, or you're trying to grow your virtual business, social media is going to be important. But me personally, I'm an in-studio trainer. I found during the pandemic that I need live interaction. Do I need it full time? Probably not anymore, but I do need that live interaction. It keeps me happy. It keeps me motivated. It keeps me wanting to exercise, which means that I don't have time every single day to sit down at the right time to make sure each and every client is logging in and doing their workouts and eating and logging their food at scheduled times. It's just, once, if you have 10 clients, that's realistic. If you have 20, if it's the only thing you're doing, maybe. If you have over 100 clients coming in your door, you cannot keep up with that. The input you'd have to put into it versus what you'll get in return doesn't add up. So how do we schedule these things? So we use social media schedulers, which I'll talk about a little bit. Automating your leads. Once they develop interest in you, what do you do with them? How do you funnel them into pools and buckets and tags so that you can reach out to an entire population of the same type of client at the same time? That's going to be crucial. It allows you to spend a lot of time developing one concept for one kind of person, rather than responding to each individual person that walks through your virtual door. We'll go through the on-demand programming. So you've sold them, they're your client now. What do you do with them? How do you keep them? How do you keep them energized day to day when you're spending your time bringing more people through the door? That one's going to be pretty important to making sure that once you get a client, you keep it. A new feature that has popped up in the last couple of months is the client reminders. And that one was my saving grace, where I'm like, yes, finally, I feel like I can keep up to date with every single client walking through the door, because I know when and how to send them their reminders and get feedback from them in real time without overbearing them with lots of information. And then finally is just my little tidbit things, because, you know, keeping up with tax season when you're self-employed is tough. And so I just found a software that I like that helps me keep things in balance, just like a bookkeeper would, for free. So I'll share all those things with you. Throughout the webinar, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you'd like to elaborate more, drop it in the Q&A. We'll get to all of those questions and answers at the end. But I know when I'm watching these webinars, I have a question about something you said, and I'm going to wait till the end. And when the end comes, I just completely forget what it is that I was going to say. And so as these questions come up, feel free right away to pop them into the question and answer box, and we'll get to them at the end of the webinar. So next, we're going to talk about the automations for leads. This is how we're bringing people through the door, honing them into a subject, and then making a sale. I like to think of the client I want, and the client that I have the education to provide the most for. And with that, we have all these connections. Like in FitBudd right now, you have a direct line to Mailchimp. I personally don't use Mailchimp anymore, and we'll talk about how we can use it for other softwares as well. But if you have Mailchimp, a cool feature you have right now is you can see all of your different tags inside Mailchimp. So your inactive members, anybody who has downloaded your app but hasn't decided to make a purchase yet, any active leads that you have, any active clients that are working in the app now, and any custom tag that you have created for them in your software, it will show up in Mailchimp. And what does that mean? To me, that means that I have boxed them. So now I have a folder for anyone who was a member, who used to pay for a service and is no longer with us now. I can send them some win back emails, right? We can drop leads, drip campaigns into their inboxes that says, we miss you. We hope we satisfied your service. We want to see what else we can do for you. Whereas if you have active leads, they're already sold, they're already paying, and on a subscription basis, what do you want to send them? I want to send them information, right? I want to send them my latest blog. I want them to read up on the topics that we're talking about in the studio, because I want them to stay engaged whether they're here or not. So that one's a really important one for us to keep automations going with, so that even though I'm not thinking about work 24/7, I know I've set up a schedule where work will be thinking about my clients. And so if you don't have Mailchimp, you still have, but you're using like a CRM system or an emailing software or something like that. FitBudd in the last year has connected to Zapier. And for me, that has been clutch, because while I like Mailchimp, I prefer to use a software called Fresh Sales. And in Fresh Sales is my CRM, so I can see the lead pipeline for all of my services. Since we are muscular therapy, we also have massage clients. And so if I'm pulling them in a different system from what you would pull a trainer in from, I want to see them in the pipeline. So using Zapier, I'm able to connect all of my businesses together, and you can do it in a similar way that you're doing to Mailchimp. So on the lower left, that screen there shows you in Zapier what you can do through Zapier. So as long as the software that you're using connects to Zapier, you can start a trigger for any new active user, anybody who purchases one of your plans. If you get a new lead, anyone who downloads your app but hasn't made a purchase yet, you can start a triggering flow for them. Anybody who has rendered inactive, their membership ended and they haven't started a new membership, you can trigger the software to connect to whatever software it is that you use to start a system of emails or other connections to them. If somebody purchases a new plan, well, I don't want to send them, if they're purchasing a plan about menopause, I don't want to tell them about how to get, back into athletics and pain-free performance if this is the plan that they're motivated for. So now I want to send them a drip campaign that matches this type of plan that they're on. And so there are so many options that you can use to create a trigger that will link back to your FitBudd in real time. What does all of this mean? This means you sit down one day, you create one flow system for one thing, and every time somebody matches that flow, they will receive this information. it's still all of the love and affection that I like to put into my programs, but it does not require all of my time. I can spend my time building new programs, right? Growing my business, satisfying my clients. So I really, really, really like getting into lead drip campaigns, pulling people from social media to put them into my contacts to create this. And I'm sure a lot of you guys also have other ways that you use the internet and Google and all of these web-based product areas, you know, like maybe you have ads on Facebook or something like that, where I'm not the specialist on the marketing side of things. If you know how to use these softwares, you can connect all of them. So once you set it up once, you're one and done. I want to see if we have, let's see, where are, we just want to check on the questions to see if there's any that I want to look at now. Love it, love it, love it. Yes, when you have a baby born during COVID, it is a different world. So I love that some of you guys out there have experienced the same world, and I really hope that you guys are finding your way through it. You know, there was a point in time where I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to continue working for myself. And now that I found FitBudd, I found a way that's sustainable by myself over time. And I can still be a mom. Because I mean, I'm a late bloomer. I had my children when I was 34 years old, and I waited so long because I wanted to spend the time mothering them. And then after COVID, I'm like, am I even going to have that kind of time again? I waited all this time for that. And that's how FitBudd has really helped me figure out how I can still keep my time to be a mom to my children and still be like a great trainer, because nobody really just wants to be a good one. You kind of just want to be a great trainer. And if you feel like your time is spread out into 50 different places, you kind of just can't be a great trainer. So shout out to you guys that survived that special kind of world we were in. The last thing I wanted to say about Zapier, if that's the approach you guys are taking, is that they have 100 free zaps per month. So, you know, depending on the type of clients or how many clients you're bringing in, if you're bringing in a high price point client and not as many in a month, 100 zaps may get you there. And then, you know, if you have to pay for a package, it's not a very high ticket price. I think the next package up is like $20 a month or something like that. So depending on which software you use, that might be super valuable to you. Now you have a client. These clients have walked through your door, they have purchased something from you, and they want to see what you can do for them. And I really feel like that first impression matters so much, because if I'm waiting for my trainer to reply to me, if I'm waiting for my trainer to share the information that I need to get started, I'm going to lose motivation. And I always laugh because I have two worlds. I have massage world, I have personal training world. And in massage world, I always say people are so excited for their appointment. Whatever you do, don't mess with their appointments. They cannot wait to get through that door. In the personal training world, correct me if I'm wrong, maybe you guys live in a different part of the country than me, but in my world, getting somebody through the door to do a lot of hard work is taxing. It's taxing mentally. I wake up some days and I'm like, do I really feel like doing this today? I don't always feel like doing it. I know I need to. I know for sure when I'm done, I'm going to feel better. But it's really hard to get motivated some days. And so walking through that door is hard. So the last thing you need is any reason to stop. And one of the biggest reasons I found on my not so great days as a personal trainer is My delay led to their cancellations. They found reasons. All they need is a reason. And if they don't have the information they need, they don't know what to do, they lose motivation. So with all of the automations that we have in FitBudd, one of the biggest things that has been super vital is my starter pack. What's my starter pack? When a new person signs up for a package, as soon as they make that payment, as soon as they open their account, they receive a starter pack. On day one, it's a video that I recorded on, I don't know, whatever the Apple video option is from my phone. I connected it to a couple of screenshots that said, here's how to use this app. Here's how you find your daily exercise. Here's how you log your food. You know, here's how you search for foods that you like. Here's how you find resources. Is there something on your mind you want to know more about turmeric? Right? That's what I got today is, you know, what do you think about turmeric? So if I want to give you more depthy information on that without taking up your entire training session, I have a resource in there in my library for it. So here's where you can go to find more information. And so I plug that in right away for every package. It doesn't matter if I know you or not. One of the cool features about, I'm gonna move my screen for a second so I can show you in FitBudd in real time is, so here is the starter pack. I have different levels of the starter pack. So what that means is when they fill out their profile online, their consultation form that allows them to download the app, it sort of pulls some questions out and adjusts for them. So if they answer, yes, I have an injury, they might get the level 1 package. Whereas if they say, no, I don't have injuries and I'm an athlete and I work out 5 days a week, maybe they'll get the level 3 starter package. So you can scale those things in advance and still pre-populate it so that you can get to know your client before you start building their package. So I've set up this starter pack here. It has 7 days worth of stuff to do. So every day that they open their app, they're going to get something, even if it's just a 30-minute walk or doing some cardio or something like that. They have yoga on some days. So they can come in, they can see what the app has to offer. They can stay moving if they get motivated, because, like, let's be honest, a lot of our clients want to exercise. They want to move. They know they're going to feel better, but they don't know where to start. So if you don't give them a place to start, they won't. So here, if they wake up and say, you know, I have 10 minutes, I feel like exercising, they can come right in and see something for them to do. And then I just wanted to go into this one area here that I found super helpful, right? So this is where you can find this in your settings screen when you're filling out the onboarding form. There are, you know, these different sections that you can put in. What are your coaching objectives? So this is where you can sort of choose what you want your clients to do for those workouts. These are the triggers that will decide which program they will receive in their starter pack. It's also great because if you're looking closely at this BMR goal, I have all of mine just pre-populated to based off the BMR. And what that means is when if they're looking for nutritional advice and you guys offer nutrition coaching in your packages, if they come in and they say, I want to lose weight, and you want to give them a 500 calorie deficit from whatever their BMR calculates out to, then as soon as they hit weight loss, it's going to take that total number, subtract the 500 calories for a deficit, and then pre-populate the percentages based off what you put inside. So is it perfect? No, because we don't know this person yet. But it's a baseline that I can start with, and I can move with it accordingly. So if it works, there's no need to change it. If we're running into issues, you can go in manually to each person and correct these things as you're meeting with them as you're sending them surveys to fill out that are asking about their training, as you're checking on their progress and their check-ins, you can modify this number manually. But if you kind of have a system that you work through for each type of person, you go in and pre-populate it in the onboarding. That way, as soon as they hit the right button, your system goes into play without you touching it. Just one less thing to do. Is it you? Yes. Is it your full authentic trainer and the way you would schedule them if you were to look at their forms directly? Yes. So why not populate it? So I really, 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 really love that one. Also, in the starter pack, once they're onboarded, it automatically sets them up with ways that they can receive their check-ins. So I have some clients, they're just struggling with their water. Water is a hard thing. And so we can set them up to send them water reminders multiple times a day. So where did I go? I'm in my profile. I hit the hamburger on the right-hand side, and I go into reminder settings. And this, I think this is only a couple months old. We didn't always have this. I mean, I've been here for a long time, but once I saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, game changer, game changer. Because most of the automations, most of the messages that I want to automate to my clients are one of these things. Don't forget your check-ins, to take your measurements if you're doing that at home. The big ones for me are the water, and logging your food, right? So getting them to submit that information on a regular basis is super important. And I love that it times it. So like if you have a client that wakes up like me at 5:15 every single morning, you can schedule this for 5:10. So as soon as they wake up, it reminds them to eat breakfast, right? At lunchtime, at dinner time, all of these things, you can add some, you can take them away. I have some clients that are like, you know what? I drink water great when I'm at home. When I am at work, it's easy for me to forget, right? So then you can say, okay, I'm only going to send you reminders during this time frame that reminds you to drink water and to log it. So, they're only getting the reminders when they want them, but not too much. The workout reminder I found to be very helpful because I can schedule them when they're coming into the studio too. So, right now we have the people that come into my studio, if you're somebody that are still working inside of a gym, we kind of have the same appointment every week. And so right now, I don't have them scheduling their own appointments because it's the same time, the same day every week. FitBudd setup is for single appointments. So right now there's not a feature to automate them. So here's my workaround. I go right into here. They come on Mondays at 3:30, Wednesdays at 3:30, and Fridays at 4:45. So I come right in here, and when they have a workout, I schedule them here. That way they catch a reminder that says you're coming into the gym today at this time. And it's been really nice to have that for us, have that for them. And it's an automation on a regular basis for everybody. So that works out really great for me. Awesome. I want to check down here and see what you guys got for me so far, see if there's anything I want to answer now, or if we're going to head to the end. This question here, you can automate a program with their goals. Can we elaborate on that one now since we're talking about it here? I'd love to answer that question now. Can you schedule through Google Calendar and have it connected. Is there a way to have it show up in FitBudd? So if you're scheduling with Google Calendar, it won't show you your appointment in Google Calendar as far as I have seen, but it blocks the calendar so nobody else can take that appointment. So it does block it, saying that your timing is taken during that moment, but it won't show you the appointments that are in your Google Calendar. Let me know if that answers your question. Beautiful. You can automate a program with their goals. So if this person here that's talking about automating the program with their goals, I'd love to hear more about what that question means so I can answer that a little bit more. Okay, let's keep it moving and grooving. Okay, so this is not a feature that's coming, that is here right now, but it is a feature that is on the way because we were talking about all of these automations. For daily check-ins, for specific questions that you want to ask your clients, it is on the radar that in the future we will have the option for you to pre-schedule the times that you want to send certain pieces of information. So I want to say, hey, I know you had that herniated disc, and I wanted to make sure that the workout didn't make you too sore after. Send me a note and let me know how it went. If that's something that is a feature that you want to have, then you can reach out to FitBudd, and I usually reach out and just vote for it and say, hey, we love that this feature is coming. If you love that feature, you want it to show up, you can vote for it. But it is something that they are working on, and it is on the way, and it will be, for me, it was an awesome reason to stay a part of the platform, because then there's really nothing that I need to do in real time when I have that feature. Finally, my found account. Okay, so I've gone over all things that relate to automating the client experience, from establishing a relationship with the client, getting them through your physical or virtual door to learn about what it is that you do, to now making a sale, and then to providing an amazing service for that person. What's left? Oh, I know what's left. My least favorite thing of all, the business. I do not love taxes. I do not love keeping track of my banking information. I don't love any of it. I know it's a part of the business. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Bookkeeping can be expensive, especially if you live in Boston and you have 2 twins that are in daycare. I don't know how much you guys are paying out there, but we are paying an arm and 3 legs to put them into an educational system prior to public school. So with all of that, like, adding more expenses makes it harder for you to be a business owner. And so I found this bank information. Where did I find it? On Instagram, which is a whole other reason why getting into your social media is kind of important. And what it does is, for every, your Stripe account connects here. Every time you use your banking card, if you use it at Costco, you can set that up so that it triggers the system as a supply order, right? And so then it gets categorized for you throughout the process. My favorite part, though, is that every dollar that goes into there gets a different bucket. They have a different group or bank account. It's like a mini bank account inside of your bank account that automatically deducts your taxes. If you pay for the plus, I think they will even pay your taxes to the state for you, or your federal and state, I believe, they pay it for you. But at the very least, they just tell you an estimate of what your taxes would be. And they even pull it into a different account for you so that when you're making payments, when you're looking at your account to see what new equipment you can buy, when you're making choices on how you're going to spend your business's money, it tells you how much money is in the account that you can spend. You can also create different accounts. So what I've done is I've created a different mini account that is for payroll. So now I have a employee that is working for me part-time, and I want to make sure that I automatically deduct enough money to pay her payroll. So, 20% or 15% of every dollar that comes in gets pooled into a bucket for payroll. 5% of everything that comes in gets pooled into a bucket for utilities. 20% of everything comes in gets pooled into a bucket for the overhead, for your rent. Whatever the number is, you get to choose it, and you get to set it aside so it automatically places any dollar amount that you want into different categories so that you've planned your finances properly. And then on top of that, it tells you, like, here's an estimate of what you might end up owing in taxes so that you're never like left with your jaw dropped at tax season. In my first 7 years, I struggled with the tax side of it, and I was making enough money to work for myself, but I was not making enough money and I was young, that I did not feel like I could hire a bookkeeper or hire someone to do my taxes or anything like that. And so, I paid the price for that. So now coming back as a maturing adult, still maturing, I've found ways to talk to all these different people, get your taxes set up. I've learned about how to do my own taxes, and that did not stop it from being more daunting. It's like, I need to sit down for a week. I need to go through all of these accounts, these accounts, these accounts. I need to pull out every single item. I found a bunch of different softwares that kind of sort of did it for me, but none of them do it the same way that Found does. And it's one of those accounts that you just like go into online. So you can sign up online, you get a virtual card right away, they send you a physical card in the mail, and you can get moving. So I found that that's been really helpful for me, just to automate even the business side of things, because everything I'm going to come back to is I have a limited amount of brain space, and I love what I do, and I want to spend as much time doing it as possible. So getting rid of the tax side of things and making that less of a daunting tax every tax season allowed me to be a better trainer. And so I just wanted to share that one with you too, because I feel like that makes me, like, when I wonder, like, should I still keep doing this? That's the one that makes me say, like, yeah, I can still keep doing this. We can do it. Okay. Is there anything else? No. So this is me, and this is what I do. And now is a good time. We can start taking the questions and answering them.
Twyla, just before we jump into the questions, let me quickly introduce FitBudd to those who joined late and don't have access to the platform yet. So in summary, FitBudd helps you grow your fitness business with the power of your branded app. Our platform is the only tool you need to seamlessly run your fitness business and build a robust digital brand. For those interested in experiencing FitBudd firsthand, we offer a 30-day free trial. To explore more, you can schedule a demo with our team. We have already provided the link in the chat. We'll drop it again. And now over to you, Twyla, for the Q&A session.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So the first question I see here is, my biggest issue is getting leads to reply in the app. How do you get them to interact? I have 20 leads, but they've not seen the messages I sent through FitBudd, even though they downloaded my app. One of the things I found with this is that even though they've downloaded your app, you've sent them a message, there's an option in, like, I'm not sure if it's the same for Android phones, but there's the option to turn off notifications. And so a bunch of my clients I've found, I've been sending them messages and they didn't reply right away. And that's not through the FitBudd app directly, that's through their phone. And if they don't have notifications turned on, they may not see that message. One of the reasons why I really think following up with email until you've locked and loaded them is the way to do it. So connecting your Mailchimp or connecting your CRM software allows you to send them a message in the app, but they may not reply. And so within 24 hours, if they have not converted into a sale, sending them an email that says, hey, thanks for downloading our app. We're super excited to see how we can service you. Why don't you fill out this questionnaire and get entered into a raffle to win, this service for free? Or I'd love to have a free consultation with you to see how we can help you choose a program that would be right for you. But that way, like, most people are still, I know we've moved into a lot of text world, but most people still check their emails. So if they don't have notifications organically turned on in their phone and they're not receiving your messages, then you can follow up with them in email. And that also shows that you're like a professional business and not just another random app, because I've downloaded a few apps that are kind of random. And it doesn't look like the app is monitored anymore. So, it's one of those things that shows that, like, hey, we're actually monitoring this app. We care about what we're doing for you. We want to see how to help. And then, you can also drop at the bottom that you can reply to us directly inside the app. And that way you're keeping all of your interactions as much as possible inside of the app. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. So I guess I just have to set up my Mailchimp. I had my email set up through my Shopify account because a lot of my things go through Shopify, but I might have to set up a separate email account and just with Zapier interface the Shopify and the FitBudd through one email.
Yeah, I mean, that would be, because then it would link all three of the things together, because it sounds like the Shopify does
fitness apparel, yeah. Because on my Shopify, I sell fitness apparel, but sometimes people will go to my Shopify site because it's just my website to get to my personal training, and then I've linked the FitBudd to my virtual training. So it'll say in-person training and then virtual coaching. And when they click the virtual coaching on my Shopify site, it goes to my FitBudd site. So anybody who's interested in the apparel, they might see the training and then like click the training. And so that's why I have it that way through Shopify. So now, like you said, I just have to interface through maybe another program. I'm trying to see, hold on.
You can also, if it's through your website, so I have it connected to my website as well. So like you can click app, like the free app on the website, which will connect you directly to that from, I'm not sure if you can do that from your Shopify, but if you make all of your—
realize that I use Klaviyo. So you know how, I don't know if you're familiar with Shopify, but they'll like add an app, and the app that I use, the mailing app, is Klaviyo.
I see.
I might have to change it to Mailchimp if FitBudd doesn't seamlessly interface to Klaviyo. I don't know if you can answer if it seamlessly interfaces with Klaviyo.
So,
Klaviyo is another app like Mailchimp.
Yeah. So Mailchimp is the only one that is like natively connected to FitBudd. But Zapier, like, I don't use Mailchimp either. And Zapier allows me to seamlessly connect it to my Fresh Sales account, which is similar to Mailchimp as well. So the difference is you would go into Zapier and you would connect, you'd pull in your Klaviyo account, you'd pull in your FitBudd account, and then they start talking to each other seamlessly. And like I said, Zapier gives out like 100 free zaps a month. So depending on how many people you expect that to do it for. And then, you know, for me, I always say like, well, let the 100 run out. And when the 100 runs out, it'll be worth paying $20 a month to have more.
Yeah. What was the name of the app that you said that you use?
I use Fresh Sales.
Fresh Sales. Okay. Okay. While I have you here, the Found app, is that just like a kind of an accounting service, or is that a specific account? Do you start a new, is that a new business account and then it tracks everything?
It's a bank account. It's a bank account. Like it is just literally my business. I've made it my sole like business bank account. And so if I need to pay contractors, I know like people who use Gusto and things like that, contractors are only $6 a month, but Found contractors are free. So I have, it's my bank account. All of my sales goes into that bank account. And then I divvy them out to different expenses. So all of my charges come in through there, exactly how you would use like your Citizens or your Bank of America. You can use Found. The only difference is that because it's a business banking account, they literally take all of your charges and they try to categorize them for you. And you can specialize how you categorize them so that it helps you out in tax season.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Love these questions. Can you attach a short video to individuals or text messages only? Oh, so inside like the messenger, Camille, is that what you're talking about? Maybe you're not there. If you are asking about like, can I send a video? Absolutely. So I have some clients that like, I want them to see how they looked when they did this thing. And sometimes it's for motivation. Sometimes it's for them to understand what I mean when I'm talking to them about their form. And so I'll literally record them on the spot while they're doing it and upload it to their messengers. So you can send video links, voice memos, documents, text messages. All of that can be sent in the Messenger app inside the FitBudd account. Do you have birthday automations? So if it's your client's birthday, it's wishes them a happy, healthy birthday. So FitBudd doesn't have that, but one, Mailchimp has that. Two, any software that you're using. So in Fresh Sales, we have that. So as long as we have their birthday on file, it'll send them an email and anything else. You know, we would send like a $10 off a massage on your birthday. Or during your birthday month. So where FitBudd doesn't have those automations, FitBudd's connected to Mailchimp, and then it takes us back to this whole nurturing your leads, turning them into clients, and then keeping your clients happy. All of those things, happy Halloween, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year, Happy Birthday. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, you know, all of those things that you want to send to them that are special but aren't directly related to the app. You use your Mailchimp or you use your email provider as it connects to your FitBudd account so that you can send these special emails to them. And that puts a nice personal touch on it too. Moving on to Vivi. Could you automate that a meal plan is assigned according to their BMI? Example, if I have a meal plan that is between 1,600 and 1,700 calories and the BMI of the person is between those calories, can we automate that that plan is assigned to the person? Sort of. The meal plan, hold on, let me go back and take a look. Because I think, and Ashwarya, if you want to chime in on this one, if you have the answer before me, I'm pretty sure you can. Just going to the settings again. And then the onboarding questionnaire. So what I know about it is that once they're a client, unless you're using the BMR based, it won't automatically change. So like if they're between 16 and 17, but then they lose a bunch of weight and now you want them to be between 15 and 16, once you set that up, it won't change with them unless you're using the BMR based. So where am I? So I'm going to edit these, and then I'm going to open this up. I'm going to share my screen again so you guys can see this screen that I was talking about earlier. Okay, so the BMR goal. So periodically I send a message to my clients and I tell them to update their onboarding info. And all that means is like, are your goals still the same? I have a client that was she just left the 3rd trimester. So like, she's no longer breastfeeding, doesn't need extra calories anymore, right? So if you have someone and you're like, I want them to be within this range, you can create another option here. So if I edit these options, I want to add another option down here. I don't know what you would call it, but you could call it, you know, this is what it is, and this is what it does, and whatever. So you can change these options here. You can make it a calorie surplus or a calorie deficit. And then you can schedule your carbs, proteins, and fats here while you create this new profile. So that you can do. And then if you do it this way, it will change every single time your client changes their onboarding. So maybe you say every 3 months, they should change their onboarding information so that their calories will change and adjust to them. Outside of that, I do think you can schedule it with the plan that they sign up for. So if I go to the payment plan instead, right? And then we pick this one and we go to automations. So I just went to my payment plans, I picked a plan, I hit automations on the top, and then this is where I schedule my starter pack for whoever this person is. And then there's the nutrition. So then you can schedule a meal plan, or you can select a meal plan schedule. So you can schedule whichever one of these you want that match it. So if you're someone that's like, 16 to 17, if that's a plan itself, then that's what you would put in there. But I have it set up as BMR based. So that means whatever they plug in is the calorie deficit that they're going to have. If it's a specific plan, you can change the plans here to make it match. So I see like you might want, something like that. And those would have like the food groups in them as well. But I find that it's easier to just do that once they've gone through the onboarding, if you're going to give them like a specific meal plan. Let me know if that answers your question. Awesome. Let's go back, see what the other questions are we have here. Let me see. Yeah, awesome, Camille. Okay. Got that one. How and where do you attach your starter video to show how to use the app in the program? Oh, so again, this one's a little bit of, actually, it's not a workaround. It's kind of how I set it up. So, okay. The question is, how do you set up your starter video? I'm going to go back to my screen here and share it with you. So after you've created the video and you have it all set up, you go into, so I have the starter pack that I keep talking about that makes my life so much easier. I'm going to go there and find my starter pack. So I have one of these set up that you can like download as soon as you get the app. But this one, they purchased this program, and here you can add an item and you can upload the video. Let's see if I can find mine in here. I might not be able to find it right now. Nutrition. Nope. So I don't remember the name that I named it right now. In any case, you'll go and create the video. I've put it in workouts. I'm sorry, in exercises. first, you add the exercise. The exercise is going to be, and then this is the video that you'll put in, right? So now you have this thing, it's your starter pack, whatever. Workouts, excuse me, let me make sure I have all my language. I think this one, oh, sorry, no, you go into workouts. So add workout, follow along video workout. Then you type in, you know, start here, right? So now that's probably what I should name it so I can remember it to show you guys. The start here video, I put it in as a breath because all you need to do is breathe while you're watching it. The intensity is low. And then here is the video to help you get started. Cool, cool, cool. And then from here, you plug in the video. So then you'll upload it from Vimeo, from YouTube, or from your computer. And then the video will play here. So once you have that start here video uploaded, then when you go into your schedules and you go into your starter pack, coming back here, you go into your starter pack, then you put it as the first thing they see here. So if this was my starter pack, I put it up at the top. It's the very first thing that's going to show on the screen when they're getting started. And then if you have a day one or whatever, whatever the workout is for day one, it'll show in scrolling after that. But that's the way I've been using it. I have one video for the nutrition and I have one video for just how to use the fitness app. If you're trying to figure out, like at some point I talk about like a resource. And so if I want to show you how to get to the resources tab, then I have a video that shows you like how to use it, where it is, how to use it, and things like that. I also have a video, which this is just off topic, but I also found to be very cool, is like it's a snapshot of, so if you guys download my app, then the snapshot that you see as soon as you open is a video of all the things that you get inside the app. I just used one of these like random app makers. But now that you can make your app specific to your colors, to the things you like to see, the way you like to see it. You can add a video to your opening screen. So when they download it, instead of a picture that says welcome, it's a video that sort of snapshots all those things. So I found that that was really cool too. Just want to throw it out there before I forgot. I hope that answers your question. If not, feel free to chime in for a few more. I'll take a couple more questions now. Let's see. I'm going between the chat and the Q&A. It says, is there a way to share or sell workout schedules to other FitBudd users? I'm thinking very different geographics, which wouldn't step on each other's foot, might be benefit the community. I'm not sure how you plan to sell your packages. For that question is, can we share or sell workout schedules to people who are already on our platform? Is that what you're asking about, or people who are on other platforms? If you could give me more detail on that, I can try to answer that, or maybe Ashwarya can answer it for you. So when they buy the plan, they automatically receive the plan according to BMI. So Vivi, to finish your question, I think you would have to create the specific plan. So if you wanted them to be between 1,600 and 1,700, then they would have to buy the plan that is for that calorie count, and then you would connect it to that so that it would automatically load it from there. But it won't change like once they enter in their stats or BMI or whatever. Among FitBudd users. So does that mean among your clients, or because to the client, they are level up users. They're not, to other trainers. I don't know about that one. That's a question for FitBudd, I think. Let's see, that answered that one. That's okay, Camille. I'm glad I got to answer that one. What is the live option you have in FitBudd under Explore? So the live option is the group scheduling, because remember, my whole bid is I don't have brain space. I cannot schedule all my clients. So the live option is group classes and those configurations. So like if we have group classes or things like that, they show up under the live platform, and you can book one-on-one, like that screen will show you the one-on-ones. It'll show you any of your group classes and things like that. Any of your, like, it's basically your new calendar and appointment screen. But since we also offer group fitness, I think that that is super vital for me to have. If you don't have that option, but you offer some sort of group, or you plan on doing like virtual group or things like that, it's like for me, it's a game changer, because it means I don't have to keep track of my clients. They can schedule themselves. They can move to any appointment calendar they want. And that really works for me, so that all I have to do is show up. Can you do both in real time or recorded? For virtual fitness, Esteban? I'm not sure what you mean. I'll take some more detail on that. Maybe I can answer that question for you. How can we add and sell other supplements and send out automations for that? What happens when clients order the supplements already in the app? Oh, so are you, that's cool. I don't personally play too much with the supplements right now. But are you saying that they purchase the supplements from you and they purchase them in the app? Okay, so I don't really know. I've never like thought of purchasing a product out of the app outside of the service. But just taking a look at it, I want to see if it's similar to if they were doing it, you know, as like a group fitness plan. And I know that if I go to automations, then it might actually be the same answer as the supplements. So I know that depending on whatever package you purchase, I can add supplements. So yeah, so it's showing that I can add a supplement to any group program. So that means that like if you purchase this, then this supplement will automatically be downloaded to your profile. So to me, that means that the same way you can offer nutrition specific, you can offer supplements specific. That's not 100% personal testimony. That's just from me looking at how it's set up with FitBudd, and it's set up in the same format as the nutrition programs. So it looks like it's the same setup. Like if they change their configuration, their onboarding periodically, it will update the programs for them if you have it set up that way. So you can do that, but otherwise it will be whatever package that they purchase when they sign up. Yes, okay. Esteban, it looks like FitBudd answered that question for you. I missed the first half of the webinar. Will there be, I believe FitBudd sends out a recording at the end of this. So if you missed it, you'll catch it again. You can always email me as well, because I love FitBudd and I'm always happy to answer questions on that stuff as well. If there's something about the webinar that you have more questions on. So that supplement question is definitely one for FitBudd. Is if they always have a live, or can I schedule classes and play a video that I previously recorded? Well, if you schedule, I don't believe on the live app you can schedule a class in place of a human. It just means that you It just means that there is a class that's happening at this time, but you wouldn't, as far as I understand, you wouldn't be able to do like a pre-recorded video during that hour. FitBudd can probably answer that with more detail, but it's more for like a live session, if you will. If you're going to do a pre-recorded video, then it's probably just better to put it on their schedule so that for that day, like when they sign up, they can sign up and on the discussed days that the class is to happen on, they will receive it and they can do it at any time. You know, they can probably get a reminder at 5:00 p.m. that the class is on their platform. But if I was signing up for a class that I'm, you know, gonna attend, I would want to do it on my schedule. So, but that's just opinion. I'm not sure, but maybe that's something you sent to FitBudd that they can probably talk to you more about if that's something they're going to add in the future. Okay, what? I'll take your final questions now. I'm just scrolling through to see if there's any final questions. Please connect with us. May even chat. Awesome. So yeah, if there's any questions I haven't answered, you can chime in right now. Otherwise, nope, we answered that one. I think I've answered all of the questions that I have the answers to, but these are great questions. And even as I'm listening to you guys, I'm like getting more ideas for myself. So I really just love this like brain pool of all of these people in the same profession, because if you guys realize that it's kind of, it gets lonely when you're the only one in the business. So it's really nice to see all these great options and to pick brains and to see what else that we can offer for each other. So love being on here with you guys.
I think there's another question, Twyla.
Yes. Where is it?
In the chat.
Oh, in the chat.
It's found only for US.
I don't know. I have the website pulled up right now. It's found.com. I don't know if it's only for the US. But that's a question that we could probably send them a message for and get some information back. I'm in the US, but I'm not sure that it's like a virtual one. Like these people, the found bank accounts, like you can't find a found on like the corner. You know what I mean? Like there's no physical location for this type of bank account. So maybe that means that there's more, but can also look into it and get back to you.
Yeah. So thank you, Twyla, so much for this amazing webinar today. And thank you all for joining us. We'll be back soon with another exciting webinar, and the replay will be made available. Look out for the link in the registered emails, and have a great day.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.
Okay.